Yeah, I promise you're going to get a lot of information out of this. So what we want to do is, if you're a med spa and you're trying to reach more people, or this could be for any business, I just did this for a med spa, right? The thing that you need to understand is you are going to have to do lead generation of some sort. Now, there are forms that are paid, right? We do know that that's kind of the way that it goes. And you're trying to attract your ideal customer. Ideal customer here sees one of your ads, clicks on it and gets sent somewhere. Now, this is the way that it kind of works, right? Like, as soon as you get the attention of somebody, the first thing they're going to do before they decide to buy from you is they are going to go and they're going to look you up. So you need to have all of your social media dialed in for two different reasons. First, obviously, is that it's free attention, right? You want to make sure that you're getting attention and that you are engaging with your audience. So that way, whenever they go and see you, you're speaking to their ideals and what it is that they want, but you also need to use these in a specific way. Now, each platform is going to be different in how you get attention, right? Like Instagram, yeah, it's more of like the professional slash um, like business card of the social medias now. If you have a lot of followers on social media, then you're kind of like you made it, and it's validation. Facebook is just like keeping that up and testing. All of these are for testing, but different ads are going to work different on different platforms. So there's ways that you can go about finding winning ads, but just getting good at posting in general and getting that attention for free is then where you're going to take that and funnel that back into your ads just in general, right? Now, this is where it gets interesting because this individual has gone in and looked for you, and they like the offer, or they like something that you're running, or their interest gets piqued. You pique their interest, that doesn't mean that they're immediately going to buy from you. They're actually going to start the process of like price shopping, looking for, is this the best offer? Is this the best thing? So that's another reason why we're doing this. Now, the way that we want to make sure that we are engaging with them is that we want to have a system. Now, whenever you have someone connect with you on social medias, that's just the top layer. Let me zoom in here so that way you can see it, okay? So you've gotten their attention, you've spoken to them, but you have to speak to them in a very specific way, right? You have to be the guide. And the framing that you're using is that you are taking them on a journey where you know exactly how to get them to their desired outcome. And their desired outcome is actually different than what you might think. So their desired outcome in this regard is potentially like a model, or like whatever self-identity or self-image that they have, that they aspire to be. And that's what you want to find for your ideal customer, every ideal customer. Now, because this is more so in the beauty niche, it's going to be different, right? Like, let's say that you're targeting people who want to look better and they're going to the gym, right? Let's use Gymshark, right? Gymshark does a good job at this because they have created an identity around their product. And so they're not just selling you products, they're selling you an identity. Same with like Lululemon, or and some of them like combine, right? So you get a few different items that all kind of revolve around this self image that the person may have, and so having that is going to be extremely important for keeping this self image. Let's say like a Stanley, right? So they have a Stanley, and then they buy the athletic gear, they buy the shoes, and it's to what extent that they see themselves in that desired identity is to what level they're willing to invest to get to that top of the mountain, right? And so like the top of the mountain is they are the top person. Now let's say that somebody just has like an interest in fitness, they want to be healthier. And so like they may only reach like this level of the mountain, meaning they'll buy like one or two things, and then they're not really, their self-image isn't fully embraced into this. Whereas somebody whose full identity is in this, you'll see it, like they buy everything. They go like all the way. They buy like they're willing to spend, And so that's where you need to figure out what's your offer. What are you selling to that mentality of that person? Because if you can buy into that, then you can really engage with them in the right way, and that's going to be something that's really valuable to getting more sales. Now, this is how we take this person's identity and drive it back into here. Now in this med spa, a lot of the ads that I took was from Light RX, right? So they're using target stubborn body fat, or target stubborn. So a lot of this is just about fat loss, right? And they're doing it through the form of this red light therapy. You have some sales, and some of this, we're not talking about the funnel that they're using, or because even on ads, you're still, there's a level to it. There's top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. re-engagement in different formats. But this is just if you pique somebody's interest, how do you do this? And if you want to do it for free, how do you do this through your social medias? And this is what it all goes back to, is this desired identity. Because if you can speak to them, you can connect with them. You'll build an audience. You'll build people to come speak to you, right? So, or you'll build an audience because you're speaking directly to them, right? So that takes us to the next. Now, whenever you go through this process and someone clicks on one of your links, you want to be able to speak to them and find out exactly what it is that they need, because this person may not need exactly what you are offering. And what I mean by that, let me just go through to the next, because it's important that you see why this is so important. And this is where we're getting to next, because as a business, as a med spa, you're going to offer 4 or 5 different things, right? It might be Botox. It might be, let me go over here because it's important that you see this stuff. I think that was probably not that move to go 177, but whatever. So you have Botox, you have this red light thing, you have becoming Darth Maul, you have like the products that they can use at home and they can buy. Now the price of it all is going to be different, right? So the amount that you're actually spending, that somebody might be spending, is going to be different. So someone who clicks on the link and wanted to get only the red light therapy, well, you want to be able to speak to that person specifically, right? Like, it's really important that you're able to engage with them in that way. So we have a quiz set up, or we have some form of prospecting. All a quiz is just allowing them to answer about themselves, self-diagnose, reflect, prospect. And so we get to ask them questions like budget, like what do they want? What's their timeline? What's their comfort level with, have they ever tried Botox before? How often have they gotten Botox? Where have they tried it before? Like, these are things where once you know who you're speaking to, you can talk to them in a different way. And the better your message is, the better your copyright's going to be, quote unquote copyright. It's just, right? Like, if I'm having a conversation with you and I find out, oh, so you do Botox a lot. Okay. So the different, types. I have no idea, but then you'd be able to speak to them and actually get through the door. Whereas somebody who's never tried it before and they're kind of iffy and they're like, I don't even know, right? Like, this is where we're able to build trust, right? You give professional guidance on it, product information, tips, success stories, the safety protocols, things like that. Something that really gets them over the edge and are willing to do it, right? Because it's not just send coupons anymore. It's not just send information. You need to take it a step farther, right? Like, so this is how this funnel works. And this is what people are expecting. People need individual results. They need that spoken to them in a way. So, you want to give them information on their skin type, their allergies, their past experiences, because you have the insight as, whoever's in charge of this med spa. That's who probably needs to be speaking about it. But that's what's going to build that trust and going to get clients through the door, right? And then you can offer them the products and services, the coupons, and the nurturing, because you know exactly what it is that they're looking for. So let's say someone is actually looking for Botox here. Okay. And then we know that their budget is, maybe something a little bit more than, someone who, they're not just considering it, they have the amount to spend on it. So they're willing to go all in on it. Okay. So now we know that they have the budget. So the budget is a check. And then we're able to speak to them, but we still, send in the coupon, and then we're still, and re-engaging with them, not only through email with videos, but also through the different social media platforms where they've engaged with us. And so now, because they're following us, we can reach out and send them more information and just re-engage in that. Because the first level of engagement is just speaking to them because they asked for it, right? They asked for something. There was a lead magnet or some form or of something back up here within our profiles, and that we spoke to, that made them turn that attention into action because it spoke to their desired identity. And they're like, yes, I want to be that person. I want to become more like that, or do that. Okay, well, if you want this, then click the link below. So then they're going to be sent to the quiz. But the quiz is never take this quiz, right? It's get the blank, get the whatever, right? So is it a coupon? Is it a package? Is it more information? Is it take our skin type analysis to learn everything that you should be doing, and also to find out the top 5 things that are causing your skin to break out and also costing you thousands per month in skincare that is actually causing the problems that you're trying to avoid, right? Like, that's going to get someone to click this because maybe their desired identity is just simply somebody who has clear skin. It can be that simple, but if you are able to attach it to something like further on down the line on a larger scale of who that person aspires to be, that's whenever you're going to get lifelong customers, because they start to identify with your product as a part of who they are. And that's really big for you as getting sales, because over the course of that person's lifetime, you've given them the opportunity to succeed at becoming the self-identity that they have chosen, or that they've express that they want to be. So this person may want to, self-identity being that they may want to look young forever. Well, why do they want to look young forever? Well, they want to be, or they are a model, and so they're trying to extend their lifelong dream of pursuing that. And so whenever you're able to connect in that regard, your sales are going to go through the roof, and you're going to have no churn. You're going to have people buying from you kind of a lot. And on top of that, you are able to re-engage. So this is the last step of this, because on a regular basis, rather than having to go back through this process of paying, right? Like paying all this money, because all that lead gen, that's all the ads are. Paid ads is just lead generation. You're getting the opportunity to put your offer in front of somebody and say, hey, I exist. Would you like to buy it? That person then makes that decision, but they have to decide, and they're going to judge you on all of the things that we've talked about up until this point. And so whenever you have this system in place, you're not having to pay tons and tons of money. People just like they see you as the best, or they want to go out and buy. And so you are able to send these emails straight to them, send information straight to them, and you're able to bypass spending money for, let's do one more. Do I do it better? I did. So rather than spending money, this one is free, because now I know emails technically, like you need a service to send emails, but on the grand scheme of things, right? Like your cost of acquisition goes down, because now, cost of acquisition is beneficial, but most companies know that it costs less to keep a customer than to go out and get tons of more customers. And this is why. And so if you can implement something like this inside of your business, then you're probably going to see a lot of the desired outcome that you're looking for, which is just having your ideal customer finding you, trusting you, and then wanting to go through the process of working with you. So this is that entire step-by-step process. I hope you found this helpful. I like making these videos, so I'm going to try to make more of them. I know that was 13 minutes, and I hope that it was valuable. If there's anything that I can explain further, please let me know. I'd love to go in detail, but I hope you enjoyed, and peace.